Hello, I'm Madeleine from Sheen Slings and this is the DracoMom De Novo carrier. DracoMom are a small mum-led brand from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and their carriers are just becoming available over here via the Glasgow Sling Library. And I've been sent this carrier to give a go and also to show you and explain to you how it works, what its pros and cons are, what its features are, so you can work out if this carrier may or may not suit you. So what's there to know about it? Let's start from the bottom and work our way upwards. So if we start at the bottom, we have a really very wide waistband. And this is wider than most, I would say. It's not actually very thickly padded. It's quite, you can see it's not overly bulky. It's quite thin and it's quite malleable. It's not too thin. It's got a nice amount of padding. It's very, 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 very wide, and then pops on here. Like all carriers, whether the waistband fits you or not is really going to be the key thing about whether or not you like this carrier. So particularly if you're someone who really wants that width and it really gives like a really taut, hugging feeling, if you really want that width, you're going to really like this carrier. I actually find it a bit too wide to get really good purchase on my body. I kind of haven't quite got the width space where I want it. And so I would usually go for something slightly narrower, but this is going to be something that will work for some people, particularly if they really want something that's not too bulky but has really got that width to like wrap them. Now as we continue up inside the waistband, we have an adjustment system, and this is something I really like about this carrier. This carrier is super adjustable. It has loads of really cool features whilst not being overly big or overly bulky. So inside here, if we open it up, we have Velcro, and this carrier will adjust down really small, and then so it will adjust down really small and will fit a relatively new baby, maybe not newborn, because they are going to have to open their legs and sit either side of this, but I would say probably from about 4 to 6 weeks, they're going to sit really nicely in here because it goes down nice and narrow. And then as they grow, you can just let this out bit by bit by bit by bit, so you continue getting a great knee-to-knee fit for probably as long as you want to carry, really. Well, maybe not that long, but to at least, I would say at least 18 months, if not 2 years. It's going to go wide enough to comfortably, snugly carry, I would say, a 2-year-old. So I'm going to put this on a more narrow sitting because I'm going to use this with a newborn size doll. But you would get this to fit your baby and you would be safe in knowledge it would continue growing with them for a good long time. So this is a carrier that will generally go from about 4 weeks to about 2 years, so last you a good amount of time. So let's pop that on my waistband, take my time to get that nice and snug and as comfortable as I can get it. And then as we work our way up the panel, again, I really like this panel. It is nice and light, it's nice and soft, so it's really just going to mould gently and comfortably around baby's back. It's made of a cotton drill, so we've got 2 layers of cotton drill, but then cleverly inside they have a revealing mesh panel. So the center part of this, the center part of the cotton folds down to reveal just mesh. I don't know if you can see how thin that is. Let me see if I can get my camera to show you. There you go, you can see straight through it to my hand. Straight, yeah, you can see straight through it. So it's quite a nice open but quite a fine mesh. So you're not going to worry about little fingers or anything getting stuck in here. It's quite open but quite fine, and I should say really, 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 really soft. Just as soft as the surrounding cotton. Sometimes mesh can feel scratchy. This is not scratchy mesh. This is really nice and soft, which is really lovely. And if you are having this panel down, we can roll it up like so. And there are little elastics here to tidy it up. And I have to say, this is one of these really nice things about this carrier. They've sort of thought about everything. Let me find the other elastic. There we go. So we can have that nice and tidy. And then if it was a cooler day, we can zip it back up. It's boiling today, so I'm going to leave it down. Not that my plastic baby can tell the difference. So I'm going to grab my plastic baby. Oh, no, before I do, the other thing I want to show you is we have these panel adjusters. So again, just as the width adjusted, I can adjust the height of this carrier, so I can get taller as baby gets taller, or as I'm getting quite a newborn doll, I can come all the way down to make this panel much smaller for a newborn baby. The other thing I like about these is that these are really easy to adjust. So if you do, it's really useful for nosy baby phase. You have a baby who, needs a bit of neck support when needs neck support when they're sleeping or when they're getting drowsy, but when they're awake doesn't and wants to have their arms out, you can make the panel shorter, let them have their arms out, and then when they get tired, you can make the panel longer and give them more support and more coziness. And I have to say, I really like that, certainly with my own children. They love to be able to sort of get their arms out, hang out, push, look when they're awake. Often parents say, oh, I need forward facing. And maybe you do, maybe you don't, but actually often just being able to adjust the back and get their arms out, babies are more happy doing that than they are actually forward facing. So I love that feature. Right, I'm getting my baby now. So let's get my baby. I'm going to pop them in. I'm going to raise this panel up over their back, like so. And now let's talk about the shoulder straps. So the shoulder straps, again, there is loads of options here. I can do this rucksack or I can do it crisscrossed, and I can adjust these in a number of ways. So I have perfect fit adjusters, which will make the webbing longer and go further down my back, which is great for plus size parents or broader shouldered parents. I am not, so I'm going to go back down to here. And likewise, this ability to adjust it, I'm probably about midway. For more petite parents, but doing these all the way to the bottom will allow them to get a better fit, because then the straps won't reach as far and won't get in their way. So I'm going to crisscross this. I'm going to reach behind my back, find it and plug it in, and you can see here this strap will adjust to pull forwards or to pull backwards. So if I had this carrier set up for me, I would have this so that I wouldn't need to adjust this one. Instead, I could loosen before popping it on and then tighten this one so that I have that nice easy forward pull. But I've also got the option for the backward pull if I haven't got it quite right. And again, that's really useful for sharing between different partners, because it means you've got loads of play in these straps, loads of options to share between, loads of ability to share between a smaller and a bigger person or different shaped people, because it can be adjusted to fit really different shapes. So I can backwards or forwards pull. So this is it in its crossed position, like so. And then it will also do rucksack position with a strap across the back. So it does mean that it fits different shoulder shapes. So I often find parents, depending on the shape of the shoulders, will either prefer the cross or they will find the rucksack shape just sits better on them. I'm demoing the cross because the cross sits better on me, but I love the fact that this carrier does both, because then it does mean if you are sharing between partners with different shaped bodies, it's more likely to fit both of you. Now, I'm going to talk about this hood. We've got this hood. My slight bugbear about it is, it would be nice if the pattern was this side so you saw it when it was up, but it doesn't really matter. It also means it doesn't, when it's down, it looks nice. It is removable, so I can popper it off. So if I don't want to use the hood, I can just remove it. Because I have this panel cinch, you see I've got a couple of rolls in the back of baby's neck, which is polite, giving a bit of neck support anyway. But I can also use this hood. If I pop that back on, I could use it to support baby's head like this and popper it to here. I can also change, if I needed that higher, I could change that and tighten it around the other side as I needed. So I can pop that up, but I don't really like to cover my baby's face, particularly not new babies, so I can also roll that in the back of the neck, and then you'll see we have, again, elastics here, so I can keep that rolled in the back of the neck as a pillow, and I really like that touch because it keeps it nice and neat, but also helps you have that pillow. You can also wrap these if you need to. They don't attach to each other, but I might just tie them if I need a little bit more tension back here. So it's really, really, really flexible. I really like all the options it's got. It might seem like quite a lot when you pick it up, but it does mean that it's really adjustable and you can really get a lovely fit. So you can see my doll is about the size of the average 6-week-old, and I haven't got this even on quite the narrowest, or have got it on the shortest. They're sitting really, really beautifully and really comfortably, and then it will grow, 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 grow. In terms of positions, this offers the forward position, the front position that I'm showing, offers a hip carry and it offers a back carry. It doesn't offer a forward facing carry. I don't think it needs to, because the adjustable panel will mean babies can have their arms out, and my experience is most babies are just as happy with their arms out, being able to see, because they can also see their caregiver as forward facing. But I know a lot of parents like the option, and this isn't one that offers it. In terms of price, I'm not entirely certain because it hasn't gone on the market yet, although it's coming very soon in the next month or so via the Glasgow Sling Library, but they told me it's going to be roughly in the range of about £120, give or take. Don't quote me if it ends up being slightly different. Roughly in the range of £120. So this puts this on the cheaper range compared to some of the bigger known brands like Ergo Baby, Bjorn, Tula. It's a good chunk cheaper than those, but more in line with other small brands that are around that. I actually think it's a fantastic deal for that, because in terms of the adjustability, the features like the mesh, you don't have to choose, like with Ergo or whatever, you have to choose between a mesh or a cotton. You don't have to choose, you get both. For one, you get all seasons in one carrier, which I think is really nice. It's lovely and soft. So I do think it's good for that price if it fits you. And I do think it's important to try it on and see if it fits you, because it's it's very, very comfortable if it fits you, but if the padding doesn't sit quite right, if the waistband doesn't sit quite right, then it isn't. So like any carrier, I highly recommend trying it on. If you have any questions about this carrier, how it compares to other carriers, or in fact any questions at all, please pop them in the box below. I will be happy to answer. Hope that's been helpful. Bye bye.